Welcome. Today we're going to take a look at a comma rule. This one shows us how writers can link independent clauses that are separated by a conjunction. Now, if that doesn't make sense to you yet, don't worry. I'll explain all these things to you. So let's start out with conjunctions. So what's a conjunction? Conjunctions include these words: and, but, for, so, or, nor, and yet. Conjunctions are words that combine other words, phrases, and clauses. And the other part of this is, what's an independent clause? So an independent clause is a sentence. It's a sentence with a subject and predicate. So it's a complete sentence. So with this rule, what writers are doing is that writers are joining two independent clauses, so two complete sentences, with a comma and a conjunction. Let's take a look at some examples of this. The examples make this easier to understand. We went out for dinner, but the menu lacked vegetarian options. So here we've got our first independent clause. We went out for dinner. Then our second independent clause, the menu lacked vegetarian options. Those independent clauses, those are complete sentences. If you put we went out for dinner on its own, that's a complete sentence. So is the menu lacked vegetarian options. Independent clauses, those are complete sentences. Now we're combining these using the comma and the conjunction but. So that's what we're doing there. We're combining these two independent clauses with the comma and the conjunction but. That's what this rule is all about. Let's take a look at some more examples. Margaret sided with the teacher's decision, yet she asked for a second chance for Mark. So this comma here after decision and before the conjunction yet, that's what we're talking about. We're combining these two independent clauses. Margaret sided with the teacher's decision is the first independent clause, and the second one is she asked for a second chance for Mark. Let's look at this next example. The ship set sail at 10, so we need to be on board by 9 at the latest. So our first independent clause is the ship set sail at 10. The second independent clause is we need to be on board by 9 at the latest. We have a comma and a conjunction of so. Those two things together allow us to combine those two independent clauses. Let's look at some more examples. Jose is in charge of the team, and he said he's excited about the project. So here we've got two independent clauses. Jose is in charge of the team. Second independent clause. He said he's excited about the project. We've got a comma and a conjunction. Those two things, the comma and the conjunction together, allow us to combine these two independent clauses. Let's look at another example. Either we can go out to a late breakfast or we can grab an early lunch, but we don't have time for both. We actually are combining three independent clauses here. The first one, either we can go out to a late breakfast. The second one, we can grab an early lunch. The third one, we don't have time for both. So we're using this rule twice here because we have comma or, that's connecting the first two independent clauses. Then we have comma but, that's connecting the second and third independent clauses. So we're using this rule twice here. In our last example, the boss wanted us to put in extra hours, yet we couldn't make the timing work out. Here we have a comma, yet, so that's our conjunction. That's helping us to combine these two independent clauses. The boss wanted us to put in extra hours, and the second independent clause, we couldn't make the timing work out. That's what we're doing here. So with this rule, you can combine independent clauses. You can create these longer sentences and create these connections between sentences, between these independent clauses, and use that comma and the conjunction to do it. So I hope that information is helpful to you, and good luck with your writing.